Everybody there? All right. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Hello, how you doing? For some reason, I can't get on YouTube. Come on, there we go. An error occurred. Hi, Barb Brownlee. Hi, Miss Kia Parks. Hello, Ann. Let me see if I try it again. Okay. Let's try this. My phone internet is doing fine, but my home internet isn't. Okay, look like I'm gonna have to shut everything down and start all over. Yeah. Let's see what happens this time. This time. Still going slow. Come on. By George, I think we got it. Okay, so Deborah White is in the house. Let me pull this over a little closer. Oh gosh, it clicked out again. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'll try it later. Jean Dudley is here. Melissa Smith, Tiny Texas Garden, thank you. Hi, Barb Brownlee, thank you for coming in. Planted my 2 hibiscus flowers, planted my 2 apple trees in 17-gallon pots today. Your pain cream was a reliever. All right, thank you, Barb. Barb Brownlee. Let me see if I missed anybody else. I think I spoke to B. Washington. I don't know what's going on, but at least I can see your comments. But it won't give me the live feed. And I think I need to turn this fan on behind here. This is my workspace. Sorry about that. That's Brian. And Bria called me just before I tried to log on. Y'all know Brian and Bria, my daughters, 2 children. They are a trip. Okay. I think that'll work. All right. Okay, I'm just going to turn my phone off. Then they'll stop calling. Because if it was some type of emergency, it would be their mom and dad calling me. Okay, let me see if I didn't speak to someone. Into the Blue 222. Oh, that rhymes. Thank you for being here. Growing with Hudson is in the house. Sifting some soil. Thank you for coming in. I think I spoke with Growing with Hudson. Debbie Epps, how you doing? Tell your father I said happy birthday. Thank you, Ann. It's amazing. Brian is 8, and Bria is 6, and she uses his cell phone more than he does. Who knew? 1501. And Kim Stage 52 is here. Janet, hello. Andrea Lucas, thank you for being here from Tacoma, Washington. Deborah Smith from Garden Zone 8A. And the girlie is in the house. I'm so glad you're here, the girlie. Bobby Wilson is here. Okay, allergies. And you guys know it's been raining a lot. But I won't complain because it rained today, but it stopped. I want to say about 12 o'clock, maybe a little sooner. And it's not supposed to rain tomorrow. I've gotten to the point where I don't even complain about the rain. I just say, Lord, bless us with some sunshine. Because you know, when the sun is shining, it hardly ever rains. And when we were children, we were taught, I don't know who told us, I think it's just an old wives' tale, that said Satan is beating his wife if it's raining when the sun is out. Okay, Veggie Farm Garden is here. I think I spoke to you already. I think I spoke to everybody. So it's like 12 minutes after. I'm running a little late getting myself together. So I'm going to get started. Today I am drinking, a very good friend brought me this, I think it's pronounced Soil or Soilel. It's another sparkling water and it's all natural. This one is pineapple. And it has 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sodium, just sparkling water with a little flavor. Hi, Popo Backyard Farm. Thank you for being here. So you guys know I have to drink a gallon of water a day, having kidney disease that I inherited from my father. And yeah, I got to stay hydrated. And then when you drink all that water and you perspire a lot too, because it comes out, right? In your pores. And you know. Okay. All right, I feel real good. I don't know about you all. Just knowing that I am going to have an opportunity to get some work done in the food forest like I want to. But the rain doesn't stop me, because in between the rain, I run out there and I get stuff done, guys. Today I planted some... I should say transplanted some crowns I bought from Stark Brothers. I think they're New Jersey Giant. I'm pretty sure they're New Jersey Giant asparagus crowns. And they are not going to bear for several years, but I put them in one of those containers that one of the apple fruit trees died. You know, when we had the big freeze in February of this year. So, I just got to remind myself to, during the non-rainy season, to go out there and water them. Because you guys know that in Garden Zone 8A, Mesquite, Texas, I'm in North Texas, we have a lot of rain, April, May, June. You probably heard me say it in a video or two. I know I did on the one I make today. And then we go into our drought season. So, a lot of people collect a lot of rainwater, and that's what I'm doing. So that when we go, because I haven't watered my garden beds, I want to say probably May, around the 1st of May, because it's been raining so much that I haven't had to water. However, I do water my containers when I have to. You have to check on your containers. even if you're in a real rainy climate, because they need a little bit more water. And while I'm on the subject, if you watched my last video, you know that I told you you also need to add more nutrients, organic fertilizer to your soil, because when you constantly have a lot of rain, the containers, especially if they drain from the bottom, they're going to drain out a lot of those good nutrients. And if you have them in raised garden beds, everything is going to drain. The nutrients are going to go down into the earth. And if you have them like in-ground planting, you're going to have to add more nutrients to your soil, because it'll wash it away. Okay? Okay, I'm going to ask everybody to hold their questions, because as always, I give you guys a little preparation. I just don't come on here live and just fly by the seat of my pants. I try to give you some pearls from Cheryl, and then I try to back up the things that I present to you with facts. So I will Google, I use Farmer's Almanac, I use seed companies. It just depends on what I'm talking about to go back and verify things. But sometimes I do get a senior citizen moment like I did last week, and I think I confused spider mites with leaf miners. I did, and somebody very nicely corrected me. And so if you have to do that, charge it to my head and not my heart, because my intent is to give you the most accurate information that I can. And I always tell you, don't take what I say as scripture. Don't take what any YouTube content tell you or creator tell you. Go research it yourself. But it is real good to get different opinions. But there's more than one way to do something. That's why I never put down anybody that used chemical fertilizers. I can tell you why I don't, but I don't knock anybody for what they do. Okay? All right. The girlie said, my husband and I enjoy watching your channel together. He walks in and says, I love this channel. Every time he hears your voice, he's legally blind. The girlie, you got to let me know who your husband is. I'm about to shout him out tonight. Go ahead and type it in. Okay? All right. Mary Campbell is here. Let's see if we got some more people in here. I love hoeing and sewing, gardening. And the fact that she said, I laugh because I love her name. She says, you're right, you need to, I agree. No, she didn't say you're right. She said, I agree, you need to research. That's the only way you're going to learn. Research and experiment. Now, don't experiment if you're on a fixed income and all you have is these 5 packages of seeds and 1 package of soil. Don't be playing around with that. But as you start accumulating supplies and you have more containers or garden beds or what have you, or you're in a different income bracket where you're not depending on this food, experiment. That's how you learn. Right, we're all a team and we're all human and we make mistakes. That's so true. Okay, I lost who said that. Tiny Texas Garden. Sifting some soil and speaking to people. And somebody told me they love hearing me laugh. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, and the girlie said, I just call him the Mister. Okay, the Mister, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and you make my heart swell when you tell me you enjoy the channel. Because some days I don't feel like doing what I do. I'm human, I'm just like everybody else. But then I think about all the people that have emailed me or told me in the live or in a comment that they enjoy the videos. It keeps me going. It keeps me going. So I appreciate it. Hoyt Robinson is in the house. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. And I think I spoke to everybody else. Do I have a moderator here yet? Nope, I don't. Yeah, Ann is here. Okay, Ann, I need you to do me a favor. Ann Dale Homestead in the Colony. You know, we had a cheesecake not a cheesecake, a cheese sandwich last week. So you have my permission, but being a moderator, you don't have to just delete the comment or hold it for review. You can ban them from the channel. It gives you some options on those 3 little dots. You have my permission to ban them. Because I can go back and check and see everything later. Because for a long time, I would have these people come in here and try to insult me and say nasty things, and I'm not going to repeat them. And then for a long time, I didn't have any. And now I'm being attacked again. But know this, because I had people to email me to ask me, was I okay? I'm a strong woman. I'll be 67 years old next month. I'm a product of the civil rights movement. So I've been through some storms. And I don't fight battles that aren't mine to fight. Because no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So they can come in here and disguise themselves. I have a couple of them in my Facebook group that are moles. We don't talk about anybody in my Facebook group. We don't talk about other YouTube content creators. In fact, I don't allow my Facebook group members to mention any of their YouTube videos or any other YouTuber out there. I told them I will shout them out on this platform. I was going to say Monday, but you know it's a holiday. Monday Night Live platform. Or I'll post their video. If I find it very interesting, I'll post it on the community board in YouTube. Or I'll shout them out, period. But I don't have anybody talking about any other YouTube content creator in my Facebook group. And for that reason, it's not real large. And you know what? I like it that way. I don't want a lot of drama. I ignore stuff. I hear it. People email me and tell me what people have said. I stay out of it. Okay? So if you want to join our group and you want to be around some drama-free ladies and gentlemen that are sharing what we learn and talking about where you can get this or that on sale, or showing pictures of maybe you're having an issue, or maybe you just had a real good harvest and you want everybody to see it because it's really good. Because sometimes you can't keep, sometimes if your family not into this, they get sick of you. I had one I put up the other day. It was Batman and Robin, and Robin told Batman, maybe they don't want to hear about your plants. And then Batman slapped Robin. So I had show that on in my group, because a lot of your friends that don't have a garden, or your family, they don't want to hear you talking about it all the time. So we can lift each other up in our gardening community. But it's very hard to have, I don't know if hard is the right word. It's very time consuming to have a Facebook group, especially when it's my name, Lady Cheryl's Organic Food, Forest, and Products. That's my brand. And I'm particular about my brand. So we don't have any profanity and a lot of stuff that I hear going on in other groups or that I read in other groups. But if you want to join, it is the same name as my YouTube channel, and we welcome you with open arms. But if it's drama you're looking for, it's the wrong group. Okay? All right. Okay, let's see if we got anybody else in the house. And if I miss somebody, will you all just jump in there and welcome them in? And Growing with Hudson, I appreciate you telling everybody that button, because I don't know exactly how it works. Because I don't know all about the stats and stuff for YouTube. Guys, I've been making videos since 2015. I just got monetized during the pandemic. I may have told some of you this before. I didn't even know you can get monetized on YouTube. I had no idea. I was just doing it because I thought I had something to offer. And I had been in the education field for a very long time. And I have always been told that I was an effective instructor and communicator in cosmetology. And my first love is gardening. So I thought, well, I could use that platform to instruct and show and share people stuff with share stuff to people on YouTube. So I'm not in this for the money. But yeah. Hey, Green Organic Love. Good to see you, sweetie. I saw your community post and you getting that garden together. I know you took a little hiatus from YouTube, but I hope that you'll be back because you have a lot of things to share and a lot of gardening inspiration and motivation. So I'm looking forward to you starting putting some more YouTube videos out. Okay, so now I'm going to move on. Hi, Girl at Home with Cherie. Thank you for being here. And I think I spoke to everybody else. Hey, my nephew here, Broke Farmer in the house. Broke Farmer is in the house. Broke Farmer 76. He has been getting some really good chats where he's inviting people in. I'm trying to make you a moderator, but it won't let me do it for some reason, Broke Farmer. I have to do it later on. We got some people in coming around these lives. I don't know if they interrupted yours yet, but they're acting really nasty on YouTube. Soroya Benton, you haven't mixed too much yet, okay? Yes, Miss Nina, no weapon formed against us will prosper. Amen. Okay, so now let me go on to what I'm going to talk about. And my nephew, Broke Farmer, my YouTube nephew, touched on this in the video, and I just want to elaborate a little bit more. Because you know, guys, I base, and I'm looking at this other monitor here. I don't know if y'all can see that. I base what I'm going to talk about on the emails that I get. And you can't email me an hour before I'm getting ready to go on and want me to talk about that subject because I told you I do research to back it up. But if you have questions, email me during the week. And Green Organic Love, if that's my YouTube daughter, if you would put my email address, LadyCherylsNaturalProducts at gmail.com, and in the subject line, if you say Monday night chat, and you know the holiday was yesterday, that's why we're having it today, I will research and give you my opinion the next time we have a chat. But if you email me on Monday, I'm not going to do it on Monday. I'll get you the next week. This week, I got a whole lot of email about, well, I should say last week, about, and it's what Broke Farmer was talking about a few weeks ago, genetically modified seeds, heirloom seeds, and hybrid seeds. Some people didn't know the difference. Some people didn't understand it. So I'm going to put it in layman's terms where everybody can understand. It's real simple. This is the deal. Number one, don't even concern yourself about genetically modified seeds. That non-GMO on the package is just something to make you attracted to the package. Can y'all see this? Just got these in the mail today. It says non-GMO right up here. First of all, we cannot buy GMO seeds. So it's irrelevant that they put it on this package. The only people that can buy genetically modified seeds are big farmers, businesses that do this for a living. Everybody with me? So don't concern yourself with it. You cannot buy them. But genetically modified seeds are seeds that have been engineered to be like, to cause the farmers to have the least amount of problems. Does that make sense? And the government does not, FDA controls that and will not allow them to sell it to us. So you're not going to go on Baker Creek, Eden Brothers, Johnny Seeds, Rare Seeds, Amazon, eBay, Etsy, even the small merchants and buy genetically modified seeds. So don't even worry about it. So just put that out of your mind. What we really need to concentrate on are hybrids. What's the difference in that? And heirlooms. Now let me see if I think I got somebody saying something. Okay. So let's just concentrate on that. For some reason, it won't let me do the playback. I don't care. Okay. Hey, Culture Raising. Good to see you. So let's first talk about the heirloom seed. An heirloom seed is a seed that has not been altered in any type of way. It cannot be cross-pollinated. It is, and when you grow something from it, it's going to be true to the original seed. Now, no two seeds are alike. So let's talk about tomatoes. I have one here. This one is a beefsteak. And you can't really see good because it's ring light. Let me put it back here. Can y'all see that better? Yeah. That's a beefsteak. And it's not all the way ripe here. A beefsteak is an heirloom seed that's been passed down from generation to generations to generations. When I cut this tomato, I can scoop out that pulp in the middle and save some of these seeds and grow some more beefsteak tomatoes in the fall, because I can grow all year round, or next year. Everybody with me? But I can't do that with a hybrid, because a hybrid is a combination of two or more species of seeds that have been bred together to make a product. And these are usually fruit or vegetables that are resistant to droughts, rainy periods, disease, and pest. For example, these are the first few tomatoes out of my food forest. Usually, every year, my tomatoes crack around this time. This is the heirloom. It will crack quicker because it's not bred to be resistant to a lot of rain. But this is the first year. And if you would please, let me humble myself. Go back and watch that last video. All of those things that I shared with you to help you get through a real rainy season will prevent you from getting those cracks when you get too much water in your tomatoes. And it also will prevent you from getting blossom end rot and root rot. All of those tips that I gave you. And I want you to know this is the first year that my first few tomatoes didn't have cracks in them. So what I share with you works. The proof is in the pudding. This is this is an heirloom seed. I can save these, right? I can save all these seeds and make more plants. These two are not. So you're probably, well, you're an organic gardener. Why are you dealing with hybrids? I like hybrids for the simple reason. These two tomatoes, one is an early girl, and this one is a celebrity, have been bred to be resistant to fluctuating rainy temperatures and a lot of pests and diseases. So that's why, to guarantee that I get some tomatoes, I'm going to grow at least one of these two. And there are others, but these two work really well in Texas. How do I know? Go back to my video in the live where I showed you all the books that I bought. Okay? These two hybrids are resistant to fluctuating temperatures, a lot of rain, and what else? Disease and pests. Now, when I and all of these came out the greenhouse. Now, in that video where I was sharing with you guys what I do to prevent root rot and blossom end rot, I showed you that the tomatoes in the greenhouse, which had the plastic cover on it until about 5 weeks ago, were taller and bushier than the tomatoes outside of the greenhouse in those 2 garden beds. They are real tall, but they don't have as many tomatoes on them, and there's none that are ripe yet than the ones that have the comfort of the greenhouse that didn't have all the rain in April on it. The cover didn't come off until May. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times, just because the plant looks more vigorous, taller, and bushier, does not mean it's healthier. Everybody with me? Okay. So let's just recap. This beefsteak is an heirloom tomato. The seeds are heirloom. You can save them and pass them around to everybody, and you will get the same type. You might have a different shape a little bit. Some might be smaller. I know that these beefsteaks are going to get bigger when it gets a little warmer. Okay? And these 2 are hybrids. They have been crossbred, not genetically modified. Nothing's been messed with it. It's just been crossbred between the 2, or between 2 varieties. Okay, and these are very resistant to pests and crops. Okay, now remember, you cannot buy GMO seeds. So when somebody try to give you that little sales pitch and you walking around in a nursery or whatever, and you got a sales clerk that don't know anything about this, and they try to sell you something that's not genetically modified, so don't worry about it. You can't get your hands on those seeds anyway. Okay? All right. Let me look over my notes. Oh, yes, this is something. It's here. Most heirloom varieties have a thin skin, which enhances their eating quality, but it makes the plant more prone to splitting. You remember I was talking about earlier, this came out the greenhouse, and even though they're in the greenhouse, when that cover comes off, they usually will split. But I think because I kept putting black cow compost as my rock dust around those plants in between the rain at least once a week, I think when the rain came down again, it got that soil wet instead of the same soil over and over and over. And I moved all the leaves back. The mulch back, so it wouldn't retain water and hold on to moisture around the stem. So you want to let your, give me a minute, guys, I'll take this case off of this phone. Some water wasted on it. So you want to move your leaves, you want to move your leaf mulch away from your base or your stem, and don't let your leaves touch. I'm gonna let the fan dry that out, and don't let your leaves touch the ground, the moist ground at all. Okay, let me just make sure I don't have anything else I want to tell you about it. I think I covered everything. Most plant breeders cross between types of, yeah. Okay, that's it. So, are you all going to save the seeds? Somebody answer for me. Hey, Tommy, are you all going to save the seeds from hybrids and try to grow them? Anybody? Hey, love notes. Anybody going to save hybrid seeds? I don't see it moving. No. Tiny Texas Gardener, it gave me the first answer. And nobody else have to keep writing. It's too late now. And she would get the first gift. Tiny Texas Gardener. And how about, and this is not a question for a contest. Because this is too easy, because I have repeated it over and over again. What about heirloom seeds? Are you going to save those? Yes, we're going to save the heirloom seeds. Now, what about peppers that you get from the grocery store? If you save those seeds and tomatoes, and you're not sure if they are heirloom, you can save them, but you don't know what you're going to get. It's like Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, because you don't know if those are hybrids or those heirlooms. Now, if you go to a farmer's market and you trust the merchant and they tell you these are organically grown heirloom tomatoes, then I would save those seeds, okay? And certainly all the heirloom seeds that you get from your reputable seed stores, seed companies, like Baker Creek, Botanical Interest, Eden Brothers. And okay, so now this is a statement from Love Note, says she have saved store-bought pepper seeds and they didn't even germinate. Yeah. And Cherie said she grew Jimmy Nardello peppers from the grocery store. I knew they were heirlooms though, and they grew great. Yeah. I think I saw one of your videos, Cherie, where you did Whole Foods. I think it was Whole Foods. And most of those places like that, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, they deal with mostly organic food and heirlooms quality food. Okay. Okay, so Hoeing and Sowing Gardening says she grew some bell pepper seeds from grocery store seeds, and they are growing very slow, and they taste good, but they grow weird. Yeah. So you're taking a chance. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's just free food. Like I said, your family, as long as your family is not dependent on that, that's fine. Because I experiment all the time. The video that I'm going to release probably tomorrow or the next day, I'm telling you about experimenting that I did with green beans. And in my hanging baskets, I put top crop bush beans and tender bush beans in the same basket, side by side, so I could see, which one was going to materialize first. And I put them in the same day. So next year, what I'm going to do, and I'll talk about this in the video, I'm going to switch the location. Now, those of you that are new and you look at my video, and you look at my video and you'll say, well, why is she going to grow beans in the same spot? I grow all year round. So what I grow in the spring and summer, or the late fall and winter, is completely different than what I grow in spring and summer. So I am rotating my crops. And I never, ever, ever grow potatoes in the same soil. I don't care even if I amend it. I always start off with new soil on those two items. And I don't grow white potatoes anymore because I'm pre-diabetic. Okay. Okay, I'm ready to take my first question. Many stores bought items have sterile seeds. That's part of what the big seed companies do. They grow food that have been genetically modified to have sterile seeds. Very good information. Same thing with, let's say, white potatoes and sweet potatoes. They will inoculate them so that they don't sprout, so they can keep them longer in their warehouses or whatever, right? And all these recently, and they've always been doing this in Europe, but recently in the last couple of years, they are only selling organically grown produce. And that's why they went up a little bit higher on their food items and remodeled their stores and do it curbside delivery. So that's why a few weeks ago, I found some potatoes, white potatoes, that I had for Bria before Bria went back to school in March. And my other granddaughter, Maddie, and I planted them, and I'll share them with you all. We didn't really make a video. We just did it, and I let her know that whatever comes from that harvest, all of it's going to her. So here goes Broke Farmer. He said, I saw some seeds that didn't say heirloom or hybrid. Are they automatically hybrids? No, not necessarily. I'll tell you why. All the seeds that are at the dollar store and they're a big Wally World too. They're called American Seed Company. They don't say, in most cases, they don't say what's on their package. They are all heirloom seeds. I researched that a couple years ago. So no, if they don't say, it does not automatically say they're hybrids or mean that they're hybrids. Okay, here's another one. Somebody don't have all caps, but I'll take it. You got powdery mildew on your bush beans. You can use a mixture of milk and water or a mixture of baking soda and water. I use Serenade. It's a product on Amazon that I just leave on hand. It's called Serenade, just like you serenade somebody. That works on everything except my grape black spot. It didn't work for that on my grapes. So milk and water or baking soda and water. And you can Google that, it'll tell you how much to use. And you just spray it. Okay, I'm looking for the next question. You're welcome. No other questions? Then I'm going to move on. When you're experimenting, guys, always grow some seeds. You should always have some seeds being started. Always. Unless you live where, let's say, Cheryl lives in garden zone 5 or lower, and you just know you're not going to be growing any food outside. The rest of you all can be growing some seeds. Even if you put them in containers and have to move them in the garage, if you just have a few cold nights. Okay? And when it gets closer to winter, I'll start listing all the vegetables, mostly brassicas and greens, and things like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, all types of kale, turnips, rutabaga, mustards, collards, all those karabi, all of those things that you can grow during the winter. And I'll start telling you which ones in the fall, so you can start those seeds, how long they can be outside. No, what's the lowest temperature is what I'm trying to say. The lowest temperature for them to be outside. So even if you just put some in a container and you have to take them in the garage because it's going to be, let's say, 20 degrees for 2 nights, then take them back out when the temperature rises above 32, you'll be fine. Okay, so if I go ahead, I'm going to get your question, Hudson, for a minute. Oh, it says, why? She wants to know, why do I change my soil for my potatoes? Because they take so much out of the nutrients out of the soil. I'm not saying you can't replenish it. I'm just saying I want them big ones. I want them big monster potatoes. And I know how to get them. And I get them when I use new soil. Now, you can put, I see people putting bone meal, blood meal, all that stuff. I don't have to when I use new soil. I just give them some worm castings, some black cow, any potty mix that's on sale. And then I give them some fermented Russian blocking 14 tea about twice. That's it. I just save money. Seems like I save money that way instead of buying all that extra stuff. Okay, and what type of potatoes do I grow? I grow sweet potatoes, and I've tried everything. I've tried what they call the white yam. I've tried Puerto Rican sweet potatoes, Japanese kanaki, or whatever it is. I mean, I've tried a lot. My favorite sweet potato to grow is Beauregard. And because I have my company now, I don't start the slips anymore. I just buy them. And I bought them this year off of eBay. Oh, Henry is another one I grew. When I said eBay, I remember ordering that. So I've grown a lot of them, okay? And then I used to start a lot of them, but right now I don't have the time to do it anymore. And now here's Veggie Farm. She wants to know, is it best to go ahead and try to harvest my potato in all this rain or wait for the soil to dry some? You're in North Texas? Oh yeah, I would wait. Well, are they in a container? If they're in a container, throw a tarp over them. Because we're going to have a dry day tomorrow, and then we're going to have rain from Thursday to Thursday. And that could change, but that's the weather projection. So if your potatoes, who is that? The young lady in North Texas on 8A, where I am. If your potatoes are still green and vivid and healthy and lush, they need to die off. So I'll throw a tarp over them and take it off if you're able to do that. I don't know what your working situation is, and take them off and let them get some sunshine in between the rain. But if they are falling over and they're yellowing and brown and they're dying, go ahead and harvest those tomorrow. Okay? I hope I answered your question. Growing with Hudson wants to grow some brassicas during the fall. Can I start them now? Where are you, Hudson? If you're in 8A, you can start yours when I start mine, and I'll share it with you. And I start about August, and sometimes it's too hot. Okay, because I started them outside, and then I had to bring them in because it was way over 119, whatever it was. I had to bring them in and put them under grow light. And I think I just gave up on cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower, so I definitely got to grow it this year. And I may even just buy those 3. Okay, at home with Cheryl said, I tried last year to garden Lady Cheryl, got so much planted, and we had snow and frost the first week in October. Yeah. So your situation is going to be different now, Cherie, because you have that beautiful greenhouse. So you can get you a solar panel and a small electric heater and go for it. As long as you can keep that temperature around 20 or 30 degrees, you can grow collard greens. You can grow kale. You can grow Swiss chard. You can grow all of your root crops, your beets, your turnips, your carrots, your rutabaga. Did I say that already? I probably did. But if you can just keep it around 20 degrees, you'll be fine. Because that's a large size greenhouse that you have. Okay? And just plant them in containers. Okay. Sifting some soil, said she harvested some of her. I think she's talking about potatoes. And they were okay. And she's in Texas in zone 9A. You're a little warmer than us. Brian Babasola keep calling. American Seed Company is owned by Mastano Bay. Bill Gates owned 5,000 shares in Monsanto. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but a lot of companies are owned by other companies. Am I going to stop buying those seeds? Is that what you're implying? We shouldn't buy them? I don't know. I don't understand what you're trying to say, dear. Gardener 99. Tommy says she harvested her white potatoes today because they had died. Yeah, you know. And Tommy, you haven't been getting that rain like we've been getting. Are you sure about that? Okay, well, I'm going to move on because I think we're going to a controversial topic. And I have to be careful about the rules, the guidelines. If you're not a content creator, you may not understand why I'm changing that subject, but I'm not going to go there with Bill Gates and that company, okay? And if you want to email me about it, I'll be happy to talk to you about it through an email. But I have to watch what I say. And if my nephew in here, he'll tell you. Broke Farmer 76, Green Organic Love, she's in here. They'll tell you certain things we're not supposed to talk about. Oh, Tommy, you're going to have rain for the next 10 days. Okay. Thank God yours are in containers. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Veggie Farm said hers are in containers. Cool. Okay, here's a question from Andell. If a tomato main stem is broken off, but good on the bottom, I can't really get it, but I think you're asking, will it grow back? Sometimes it can, sometimes it won't. You can actually kind of splice them together with 2 popsicles and some tape, not on the stem, but around the wooden popsicle sticks. I've had that to happen. And you could, you probably talk about that windstorm that you had a couple of days ago. You also can take those and put them in water and root them. For sure. You can clone them. Broke Farmer wants to know, how do you cure potatoes? You just want to let them dry out. It is recommended that you don't even wash the soil off. But I see everybody doing that. But most people that harvest their white potatoes, they're going to eat them, or they're going to can them, or they're going to freeze them. Sweet potatoes is one that you really need to cure. I have a video on it, and I don't want to give you the wrong temperatures. I think it's between 75 and 85 degrees. You have to cure them, and you don't want to wash them off or rub them or have your kids pick it up playing with them, because my grandkids, the fingernails scratch the skin. The skin has to harden up. But you can go back and look at my playlist, and it'll give you more of that. Off the top of my head, I don't want to start quoting the humidity and the temperature that it's supposed to do. But I tell you what, I'll do it next week, Broke Farmer. I'll be ready for that, because it goes into a lot of detail. How to cure potatoes. White potatoes, you don't have to worry about it. You just want to put them someplace cool. But sweet potatoes and curing is different. I wrote the note down. Okay. I got Broke Farmer's question, and Hoeing and Sewing said, I'm just going to say H&S, so YouTube don't think I'm... No, this may sound stupid, but will you still get tomatoes? Yes, and that was the windstorm. I'm trying to go back. They put everything on the side in this format, and you can't really see them. I liked it when it was horizontal. Yes, don't wash the soil off, Tommy. I'm going back to that question. Oh, here it is. I think I got the last part, and then it moves. Something about indeterminate and determinate. This may sound stupid. Will you still get tomatoes if you top the plant indeterminate? I don't know. I said you can. I don't know. It depends on how far down it's broken and how old is the little seedling, the transplant. That depends. But know this. A tomato has the ability to grow roots all the way up the stems. Now, if you have mature plants like I got, you see those little knots? You can cut that off, stick it into soil, or stick it in water, and root it. A lot of people do that for their fall tomatoes. I used to. To me, I get a better crop when I start more seeds for the fall. And then I get a chance to experiment. And I grow some varieties, like a lot of green emerald, white tomatoes, stuff like that. So that's a very good question that you just asked. Who was that? Yeah, don't wash the soil off. Tommy is right. Hey, Renee, how you doing? You're a very creative lady. I really enjoy your videos. So your son said you can't eat the white potatoes? You can eat them the same day you harvest them. They taste really good as far as I can remember, because I haven't been eating potatoes. I did have one Sunday. It was my daughter and her husband's 16th wedding anniversary. You know, they got 2 kids, 8 and 6, Brian and Bria. And they invited me over for dinner. They had T-bone steaks and a good white potato. And I said, I'm not supposed to have this, but I ate it. Sure did. With sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, the whole 9 yards. Once a year ain't gonna hurt you. Okay. Okay, are there any other questions? How do you, oh, that's the same thing. Red potatoes the same way, babe. Everybody doing the same way. You want to lay them in a box, not on top of each other, but flat, or a newspaper, or a plastic crate. Because if you have one too rotten and you have them all packed up, they're going to spoil a lot of them. You know, it spreads. So try to lay them flat. And it's best to lay them where they're not touching, if you have the ability or the room to do that. How do you cure red potatoes? Same way. You just want to put them in a cool area. There's nothing really significant about them. But see, white potatoes and red potatoes, starchy potatoes, they will still have the same content of carbs in them. Sweet potatoes are a little bit different. If you harvest sweet potatoes and you try to eat them on the same day, you have not allowed the starch to convert to sugar. So you have to cure them first. So after you cure them properly, and I don't want to go into it because I don't remember, it's either 75 or 85 degree temp for 2 weeks, and I don't remember the percentage of the humidity. But after you do that, then you cook your sweet potato, wash it off and cook it. You're going to find that it's much sweeter. For those of you that don't believe me, if you're growing sweet potatoes, I want you to eat one that day. And you're going to say, this is it? This is what I grew? Then come back and do it and cure it and come back and eat it later. You're going to see that it's super sweet. Okay? And if you didn't know, sweet potatoes are much better for you. It gives you more fiber. It doesn't have that high of a glycemic index to raise your blood sugar. So I can eat sweet potatoes. I just can't eat or not supposed to eat, a lot of rice, potatoes, bread, that type of thing. Okay, if the stem is broken off but good growth on the bottom, will the stem... Okay, I already answered that question. I don't know. It just depends on how old your seedling is, how much roots are there. I can't answer that question. If you have some extra seedlings and you want to experiment, you know, if I were you, I would try it. 20 degrees, that's good. Yeah, you can grow a lot of crops, Cherie, with 20 degrees. If you can get a heater in your greenhouse and keep that temperature around 20 degrees, you can grow a lot. Because collards and cabbage, by the way, can take below 0. Just off the top of my head. Okay? Carrots, it can snow on them, Cherie, and the carrots will still keep growing. And collards and cabbage taste sweeter after it's been kissed with a freeze or a frost. So there are a lot of stuff that you can grow. I am in 7A. Should I wait? And wait for what? Wait for what? Growing with Hudson. If you're talking about harvesting potatoes, you probably can wait a little bit longer. You're talking about white potatoes that are white in the inside. Crystal is in zone 6A. I don't know what your question is, sweetie. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Tommy, I've got that question before. I got that one. Hey, Susie, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Tommy, if you're talking about sweet potatoes, yes, you have to cure them. You don't have to cure white potatoes before you eat them. But let me say this, because this came to my head. Don't eat any white potato or sweet potato that's green. It can be very toxic. Unless you got a cast iron skillet stomach, don't eat that, okay? It's very toxic. And that's because they have seen light. And that's why you have to constantly keep covering up potatoes. Now, sweet potatoes, they go underground. But if you do see one, put some, peep it up, put some soil over it. Okay? But white potatoes, you have to keep covering. Gardener 99, LO, with me, I understand. Okay. Okay, I was able to add you, Bro Farmer, as a moderator. Let me do it this time. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it before. Okay, I'm just looking for a question. Cherie says she wants to retire someplace where she can grow all year round. You have a beautiful property, Cherie, though. Your place is beautiful. What I've seen, the hillside garden and all that area that you got, it's really beautiful. Okay. The girlie, I'm growing some new ones and some different varieties this summer, like Lady Cheryl suggests. Yes. Yeah, Cherie is in Minnesota. It's cold. Okay. Broke Farmer got promoted. And Rob is mentioning it. He just got promoted too. Got you. I've been knowing Rob since I got on YouTube. So, Rob, you just got promoted too. So Bro Farmer can laugh at you. I promoted you all. Okay, let me show y'all what the special is going to be. Oh, I got some notes. Experiment. The experiments I did this time was I started okra early. You know okra needs heat to really grow. But I'm eating okra. Only 1 or 2 or 3 pounds a day, but I'm eating okra. I can eat it raw. Did you all know that it helps prevent diabetes? Yes, it does. And you can drink it with tea like water. Just boil it and drink the water. But I just sit out there in the prayer garden and chomp on it while it's crunchy. And what I did was I started in July, and then I put it out in the greenhouse and then the prayer garden in March. But usually I don't really plant my okra until about May. So anyway, I'm starting some more, and when I pull out all my tomatoes, I'm gonna put eggplants and okra in that spot. So I just wanted you all to know that I'm experimenting too. Those of you, who was that? I think his hands in the dirt. I was impressed that he had some eggplant growing. And I think he in 7A. I was surprised. But I know it won't work for me here, where I am, with this much rain. Eggplant like a lot of heat, and it doesn't like a lot of water. But I do have some seeds that I'm growing. Okay. Rob got promoted. That just tickled me because he was just teasing Broke Farmer. Okay, so let me tell you about this special. Y'all know I have one every week. This week it is the Total Body Oil. It's already on the website. It is the moisturizing hair milk. This is all in the set, creamy body butter. It is the fragrance oil, the piece with the Texas Star hibiscus in it, as well as a hand sanitizer. And can you all believe this? I am giving this away at only $49.99, and it is a $66.95 value. And it will be on until they're gone. And for $50, $49.99, you'll get the total body oil, the hair milk, the cream, body cream, hand sanitizer, and the concentrated essential oil piece fragrance. This, and this all have the same scent. Hey, you know what? This does too. I forgot. All of these have the same peace scent. And the peace scent is essential oils of lavender, lemongrass, and hibiscus. Essential oils, not imitation. Okay? They're in a carrier oil, but I'll tell you, it's almond oil and grapeseed oil in your fragrance oil. Order it, guys, because when they're gone, they're gone. So I hope some of you all will take advantage of getting healthy hair and skin through this special. Okay. And Rob says that he likes all his products. Thank you for your testimony. Tommy is asking that you please hit the like button. And I want to acknowledge somebody else. Jaden the man, thank you for being here. I think it was Farmer 99. I saw her saying what I was saying. I didn't want to get into that about Bill Gates and all that stuff. And she said she understood. Thank you. Because it's not my intent to hurt anybody's feelings. So if I do, and I know that I can be a little confident, but not arrogant. And you got to understand, see, when I said that, you got to understand, you ain't got to understand nothing. That just comes naturally for me from being in management. Just the way everything that you experience in life, good and bad, makes you, it comes out in your personality. So if I come across as confident, I am. But I'm not arrogant, and I learn from you all just like you all learn from me. Okay? All right. Months do you start tomato seeds for the fall? Oh, Tony, I start them in July or August. Good question. For you, it might, are you in zone 8A or 7A? Oh, I think you're in 8A. July and August. I'll be showing you guys when I'm starting. So what is that? Who's that? Ludicrous? Who's that? When I move, you move. Just like that. Just like that. So when I start mine, you can start yours. And I'll give you a heads up. I'll tell you that Monday before. Okay, Jaden the man says the leaves are edible too. I don't know what leaves you're talking about, Jaden. I guess you all having a private conversation. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Oh, you're probably talking about sweet potatoes. If that's what you're talking about, Jaden, thank you for bringing that up, because you are right. Sweet potato leaves taste like spinach and sweet potatoes. I love, love, love to saute them with a little olive oil, a little garlic, and just a little onion. And any meat that you want to add it to, or just have it as a side. I love Beauregard sweet potato leaves. That's why I grow Beauregard. After trying all the other experiments, now I'm just ordering those slips and growing them. Debbie Epps, if you're still here, and you in the Facebook group today, you showed your father's, I believe, community garden, Debbie Epps. It reminded me of my own garden in Mississippi. My husband and I were married 5.5 years. We met in Indiana. He's a Southern guy. He passed away. He grew up on a 38-acre farm. We did that. So I learned a lot from my mother-in-law and my husband and their folk, because they grew everything in the ground. And they went to, I can't think of the name of it. They went into town to this feed store. And they would buy their slips there. And they didn't buy stuff like packages of seeds. They bought them in the big, like brown lunch bags, smaller. And they would get like 2 pounds of crowded peas, 2 pounds of okra, like that. Because they had acres and acres and acres of land. And that's where I learned a lot about crops that go into the ground. And we tried to do it here, but in a small little edge around the border of our property, but we just get too much water. Okay? All right. Somebody said they ate a potato. Must have been good today. Okay, so I'm going back up. Yankee's sister said something about she started planting her summer vegetables in Connecticut. All right, yippee, good for you. I'm just going back up and seeing if I see anything. Veggie Farm said, okay, we talked about that. Whenever I see hoeing and sowing, I'm going to start calling her H&S green stamps. S&H. H&S. I love the little bitty spring potatoes. See, in my zone 8A, we plant our seed potatoes Valentine's Day, around that area. And so even though, it gets colder and if they freeze up, they still come back. So every now and then, I used to plant some and just put them in there for like 60 to 70 days just to get those little bitty potatoes that you cook with your greens, green beans. Yeah. Okay, did I answer everybody's question? I don't want to leave tonight without... Oh, the girlie said she buys seeds in a brown bag. And you're in Indiana. That's wonderful. I don't have to talk to you, girl. We can do some bartering. Oh, okay. Kim, stage 52. Why did you say something, sweetie? Because I didn't see this question to just now. Miss Cheryl, can you explain how ladybugs are good for our garden? Thank you so much. Yes, Kim, I sure will. Ladybugs eat aphids. Aphids are those little, and there's thousands of different species of aphids in a lot of different colors. They latch on to tender leaves. And in my garden, let me share with you what they latch on to. They latch on to peppers, okra, and beans in my garden. The variety of aphids that I get. Now, other people in here may have another species of aphids and may attack something else. But here where I live, it's okra, peppers, and beans. And then the aphids, when they attach to the leaves of these plants, they suck all the juice out of it. And you'll see your leaves start shriveling up with aphids all up under the bottom of the leaves. And then you'll see a lot of ants all around that distorted leaf or plant. And that is because the ants protect and farm the aphids because they like the honeydew substance, that secretion that they make. Contrary to popular belief, ants really don't eat food. They eat the juice out of the food. Okay, except fire ants, they want your blood. So now, ladybugs, they come along and knock the ants out the way. They don't want them. They like to eat the aphids. So that's why I and a lot of other people release ladybugs into your garden. Now, if you use a lot of chemicals in your garden, you're going to kill the bees, the wasps, and the flies, and the aphid, and the ladybugs. Trying to kill aphids with chemicals. Everything is an ecosystem. Everything, God designed everything to work together. So that's why I like to use the neem oil, because the neem oil don't kill ladybugs. So I hope I've answered your question. Aphids love to damage and suck the life out of your plants. Ants like the juice that they excrete, and ladybugs will eat the aphids. You'll just see the ladybugs just moving like this. Just tearing them up. Okay? And one more thing, I noticed that the aphids like to get on sunflowers. I forgot about that. Now, in your zone, in your area, you might have other things that they attack. I've never seen aphids on my tomatoes. I've never seen aphids on my corn. I never seen, I saw aphids on squash and watermelon, but I haven't grown that in 2 years. Because I got so many fruit trees now that I just don't have the room. Okay? So Kim, stage 52, I hope I answered your question. Okay, let's see if we got anybody else. Who want to know, can they grow Beauregard sweet potatoes in Indiana? Yes, you can. My grandmother, my mother's sister passed away. It'll be 2 years in November. She was 83 and she grew Beauregard sweet potatoes every year. And by the way, guys, she used to be in our garden group. And she would send me the pictures, text them to me, and I would put her pictures up. Yes, ma'am, you can grow Beauregard sweet potatoes in zone 6B. But you need to hurry up and get them started now, okay? Can I grow fall veggies now and keep them in the shade? Yes. Yes, you can, Yankee sister. Her question disappeared. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. You sure can. You sure can, Yankee sister. Now, you'll see me in the next, I would say 2 weeks, you'll see me putting my shade cloths all up, all over the food forest. And you'll see me put the cover on my greenhouse. I have a shade cloth cover. Who is that? Cheryl. There's the cover on eBay. I think your greenhouse is 20 by 10 by 7. There's the cover, a shade cloth cover on greenhouse that'll fit all those kind of ton of hoop houses, greenhouses that we have. I bought one about 2 years ago. And it's not going to fit it perfect, but it'll fit. But you may not need it because in Minnesota, it's not that, it won't get that hot. But down in Texas, it can get to 115. Question, can I plant dates in 9A? Beautiful ones, that's a question that's really not a question we need to answer on this. That's something that you need to check with your local extension office, Farmer's Almanac, stuff like that, those type of websites. Google when can I plant dates in zone 9A? I don't have that in my memory because I live in zone 8A. So unless somebody in here in 9A and they know the answer to that question, that's one that you need to research on your own. And I wouldn't even take nobody's word for it. I would research that. Okay? But I can't possibly remember what everybody grow in their zone. That's just a little bit too hard for me to do, and I've learned a lot, but I've forgotten half of what I know. Okay, all right. So I hope I didn't come across sarcastic, because that was not my intent. Is that Eco neighbor here? Thank you for being here, Eco. At home with you, read. Thanks, Lady Cheryl. I'll look for it. I hope to get it insulated and heating ready over the summer. And I'll probably have a question for you. Oh, I'm here for you. You know that, girl. That's what I need in saying that. Whatever I can do to help, I am here for you guys. Beautiful Tone, she's in Louisiana. If anybody in Louisiana can help her, I'm trying to think of anybody that I know that grow dates. I really don't know, guys. But you can Google that through YouTube and your search engine. Hey, Auntie, you're driving and you can't respond. No problem. Love you. Love you, Tia. You're such a sweet lady. I want to thank all of my moderators. I just added a couple people tonight. And Eco, you just been drafted too. It won't let me do you. That's okay. I'm going to get you the next time, Eco. Oh, there you go. I like the way you handle yourself. Whenever you come in here, you have just been drafted. And just hit me with an email. Anybody that don't want to be a moderator, just hit me with an email and I'll take you out. I didn't see Stinky Puddle Ranch in here. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so I'm just going through real quick. I want to tell At Home with Cheryl about the greenhouse. The main thing you have to concern yourself with those type of greenhouses that we have is humidity in the winter time. So you're going to need fans circulating sometimes on the warmer days, but you're not going to have that many warmer days in Minnesota. You know, we don't have those windows that you can let up and down. We don't have those real sophisticated greenhouses like Rob. That's his own family garden. He got one of them real expensive greenhouses. I mean, it's hooked up. Y'all go over and check Rob's channel out. S.A. on Family Garden. That's how I pronounce it. He was in here early. He have a really customized one. It is really sharp. I looked at it, something similar, the size that I have. I would have to sell off everything that I own. No, I'm just kidding. But it's expensive though. Hello, Cherie. I agree with your mom on the pain cream. I put out 2 apple trees. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So I didn't see that. So Cherie's mom must have liked the pain cream. Okay, I didn't see it. Oh, okay. Thank you, H&S. She says she would rather hang out with direct people any day. Yeah, but some people find it a little intimidating and some people don't like it. Yes, sweetie, Melissa Smith, are any of these products good for shining up the braids? Yes, the total body oil. But let me share this with you. Shine comes from within. So superficial sprays that you put on that don't penetrate the hair shaft and apply a moisturizing oil in the inside of your hair, like this product, and believe it or not, this product, which is moisturizing hair milk, these two work excellent with braids and locks. I had locks down to here, and on the impulse, I cut them all off. But I wore them for 7 years. Okay? So braids, because they're intertwined, I don't know how to explain this. Oh, this is it. When you have a relaxer or straighter hair, the light will bounce off of it because it's smooth. When you have textured hair, whether it's curly or in braids, the light won't bounce off of. See the texture in here? These little grooves? The light won't bounce off of it as much as and vibrant as a smooth texture. But you still will get some shine, but it shines inward, outward. Okay? That's one thing I know about hair. Yes, sir. I'm 40 years doing that. When my budget is a little bigger, I would try the hair and skin products for my daughter's hair. Her eczema is causing dark spots. Yeah. Believe it or not, Brian and Bria have extreme eczema. They inherited from their father, my daughter's husband. He has eczema, just hereditary. You can't tell it by looking at them because they have that shea butter glow with that total body oil. I even put them on the website. Somebody emailed me and told me, why you don't have Brian and Bria on the website? And then this creamy body butter. They're always shining, but not shining with grease. This is not heavy like it's gonna, get all on your clothes and on your man when you're kissing on them, all stuff rubbing off. It's not like that. It goes inside. Okay? Somebody says you know a lot. Think about hair. Yeah, hair and skin is my thing. I used to just get up and lecture Monday through Friday for 2 hours. And then give them a text, That's what I did for a long time. I can look at hair and tell you what you have on it, the elasticity, the porosity, the density, the texture. I can tell you what chemicals you have on your hair. I told a lady, get out of my chair and get out of my shop. She lied. So some people come in and set you up. I can feel the texture of the hair and tell that she had bleached her hair and then put hair color on top of it and wanted me to give her a relaxer. And if I did that, her hair would have fell out. So some people are trying to set you up. But when you've been doing it and teaching as long as I've been doing it, I know it. I said, ma'am, you've had bleach in your hair. Oh, no, I haven't. You don't have the right to tell me. I said, yeah, but I have the right to tell you to leave. I need you to leave now. When I said I took the cape off, I didn't like kick her out. I just said, you need to leave now. I didn't cause a scene. So she had to go. Because that was a setup. So, yeah, I know about the hair. And all money is not good money, guys. Some people you don't need to deal with because it's going to be a lawsuit or a headache and you need to turn it down. That's why when people say, I'm allergic to nuts, do you have anything that don't have nuts in it? I say, yes, but nuts could be floating in the air. That's why if you have an allergic reaction to nuts, all of these restaurants, if you look at the drive-through window, it'll say, food prepared in the environment with something to have nuts. You don't play with people's lives because some people can start choking, and if they don't have that, what is that pen, guys? You all know, to stop them from having that severe reaction. It could be very, very serious. That's right, Cheryl. All money is not good money. So one of my hairstylists said, well, you should just did her hair and made her sign the release form. No. All money, not good money. Because the best form of advertisement is word of mouth. And it travels. And the first thing people would say, well, she's supposed to be an educator and salon owner, blah, all this experience. If she knew the lady had bleach in her hair, why would she give it to her? So I'm going to get off that subject. EpiPen, yes. Yes, let me see who the first one that said it. On my end, the first person that said it was, let me go back and make sure, I don't want nobody to accuse me of nothing wrong, was Veggie Farm Garden. I'm going to send you a gift, please. If you would look on here and get my email address and email me a mailing address, and I'm going to send you a gift for answering that question. And remember, guys, everybody comes in at a different time. There's a fly in here. Everybody comes in the chat at a different time, so I have to go with what I see first. And Veggie Farm Garden. I'm looking for you to send me an email and Tiny Texas Garden to send me an email address, and I'll send you guys something. Okay. All right. It is 8:33. If there aren't any more questions, don't forget about the special for $49.99. You have $66.95 worth of products. The milk, and it now comes in with the spray, total body oil, the moisturizing hand sanitizer, and the body butter, and of course the fragrance. And every one of these products smell the same. From your hair to your toes, you can smell the same. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know that God loves you and I love you too. Grow your own. Eat your own. It's not hard. You can do it. Good night. Thank you so much for being here. Good night.